Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Chat, my weekly vlog series posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK. And let's start as we mean to go on by doing the Patreon shoutouts for those who supported me on my Patreon website for the month of October. Without further ado, let's start. Matsumuni, Joe Coulthard, Taya Blake, Apropos of Nothing, Sashman, Coulson McDonald, Fraser Macbeth, Silver, Good Rory, Logan Cote, Gary, O.C. Callio, Nick Galaldi, I think I messed that up yet again, I apologise, Michael Smith, Moose, Michael Millward, Jim, Epic Fail V2, Corey Drake, Rodri Banks. I swore I'd go and look. I did. I remember. I tried to find the comment where you told me how to pronounce your name, and I couldn't find it because I couldn't remember which chat video it was on. Could you put it in this one? And I will write it down if I have to. I will remember for next time, I swear. James Gilger, John Smith, Amy Spain, Terrell Smith, and Calvin Schmidt. Thank you very much for your support. And I don't have anything in particular to cover this week. I don't want to go on any tirades or anything like that, so I'll probably just be going through the comments on the last week's Let's Chat. And if you have a question, topic, or conversation that you want me to talk about, put it in the comments of this one and I'll cover it next Monday. So let me just switch tabs here, away from my Patreon list, and I will go to the comments of Let's Chat 48, scroll down to the oldest and work my way up. Dragonakis, I like the updated font for the Let's Chat. Oh, I did that just for Halloween. I put orange in the background, no particular reason. Did everyone spot the spooky ghost, I wonder? Then you also added Cha-Cha is the real MVP, which is just blatantly lying. And you also said you like it when I swear. No, I was tempted to just swear there, but no, I'm not giving you the satisfaction. And somebody thumbed your comment up and it wasn't me. Who was that? Throkers, on Halloween, try standing on your front garden pretending to be a mannequin and scare the crap out of kids. Best thing to do. If you did that in this country, you'd probably get arrested. It rained on Halloween here eventually, and we only had one geyser come to the door who did not get any candy. Partly because I forgot to buy any candy, and if I did I probably would have ate it myself. Although what I did do then was after Halloween go to the supermarket and get a bunch of Halloween candy for pennies because they were selling it all off. And getting in the Christmas stuff. Grumble, grumble. You know, the supermarket had a bloody Christmas tree up, and the biggest city close to me has its Christmas lights up now as well. That is bloody ridiculous. I'm fine with Christmas stuff appearing at the start of December. I get it, but it's getting earlier and earlier and it drives me bloody mad. I almost swore again, but I'm not going to give Dragonakis the satisfaction. Fraser River pointed out he did see the scary ghost that I was referencing. Kinsick. Rebirth hype. Yay, can't wait till the 4th. As for 60 frames versus 30 frames, I can't tell the difference or don't care as my PC is not saying that word because it's a swear word and I'm not giving him the satisfaction. And I play most games at 15 to 30 FPS. That's painful. You need a new PC. Or a next gen console where you can get up to and exactly 30 frames per second, apparently. Liam Ferr says Frankie Boyle is the greatest. I'm inclined to agree, partly because I'm also a bitter Scotsman. Gunnar K, oh yeah, he pointed out that last week he asked, or last week from when he made this comment, he asked a question and I didn't answer it, and that's because it didn't show up when I pressed the show all comments button. I answered him at the time. He wanted to know, like, if I was trapped on an island, what favourite food could I have, favourite video game, and favourite weapon, I think? I know for food I definitely said beef jerky, and for game I said Binding of Isaac, although now I would change it to Rebirth. So, there you go. And your question this week is, spend £1 million without owning anything, question mark. What? Oh, like, if I had $1 million to spend but I wasn't allowed to buy anything for myself, or anything that I could own for myself, what would I do with it? And I couldn't say buy shares because that would I would own the shares, so that wouldn't be a get around clause. I would, if I couldn't do anything with it by myself, I would give it to my family and friends. I'd make their lives be merry. I can't think of much else. Oh no, that would be getting myself something. No, I would just spend it on family and friends if I had $1 million that I had to get rid of and it couldn't be to give myself anything. Jason Anino, another passion-filled rant from my favourite YouTuber. When you swear, it is the best. No, don't side with Dragonakis. It is not a good thing to swear. I know for a fact, although most of my audience is between 18 and 24, there are younger people than that, so I don't like swearing. I do it sometimes, and sometimes I can't help it because I have Scottish blood in me, but no, don't encourage me to swear. I try not do it a lot, especially in Let's Look Ats and whatnot, because I prefer to try and keep them as professional as possible, but I can't help myself sometimes. Alex Rowley, any chance of a podcast version of this means I can listen to it on the way to work? Well, if you had a 3G connection, or 4G I suppose, if you're in a especially fancy place, you could technically just have the video on, couldn't you? As for a podcast, if there's some kind of free place I could just upload the MP3 to without having to pay like a monthly charge or anything like that, I'd happily do that, because when I render the video I can do an MP3 right after. Something like, what's that called? SoundCloud, I think? I'm not sure. If anyone knows of a service that does that, where I wouldn't have to pay anything, or there's no tedious sign-up process, or massively limit, or what am I trying to say? A limit to how much bandwidth you're allowed to use. Not that I assume most people would want an MP3 anyway, but if you can suggest anything like that, I'd happily do it. There's no harm. Next. DRC97, if you had to kill Kumba or Wilhelm with no coming back, who would you kill? I would kill Wilhelm, because I technically already have. I killed him in Borderlands 2 many times. 1979 Devil's Advocate, I disagree with you on people using their bodies to make money. I feel like people should be allowed to do whatever they want with their bodies. Technically that's true, but they still have to adhere to the rules of the platform they're using to do that, and Twitch say they're not allowed. This is what that's in reference to, I assume. I wouldn't call them whores. Well, by definition that would make them whores. They're using their body to generate profit. I don't like the word in general. Well, that's the definition. In fact, I'm going to double check. I'm not entirely sure what the dictionary definition of whore is, so I want to double check before I say this. I think I'm right, but I'm going to check. Oh, for God's sake, Google, load faster. Dictionary.com. Not exactly Oxford, but it'll do. I am uploading as I'm doing this, so that's why it's taking a while. But I just want to make sure that the literal definition is someone who sells their body for profit. Well, it is actually specific to females as well. I actually thought it was a unisex thing. A woman who engages in promiscuous sexual intercourse, usually for money. Prostitute, harlot, strumpet. Or you can use it as a verb to act as a whore or to consort with hers. I see. So actually, yeah, it's not an apt word for it, because it is specifically for sexual intercourse, not for using your attractive body to generate money. Although it's technically the same thing, it's more of a modern day concept, I suppose. So we would need a new word for it. I think that's why you have cam whoring, right? That's a thing. Yes, I would agree that people can do whatever they want technically with their body to earn money. But as I say, Twitch say they're not allowed to. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but it's not just sexual stuff that Twitch is disallowing with the new rules. You're also not allowed to get blind drunk / high on streams anymore. Again, because they have a young audience and they don't want that kind of crap on there, especially now that Amazon is kind of backing them. Oh, you actually did go on to say that. Twitch definitely has the right to stop people from doing it, and I understand why they would. Good. That's fine. Fraser River, 2 questions. What is it about The Binding of Isaac that you enjoy so much? I enjoy that every run is actually very, very different from the last. Even if you play in a similar fashion, you can change your character. And especially in Rebirth, now that there's so many new items on top of all the old items, there must be at least 500 items now. And all the new synergies, it's the quintessential roguelike. Every run feels different. Even more so than something like, say, Dungeons of Dreadmore. And it's also easy to play, and I'm quite good at it as a result of playing it quite a lot, so I don't know, there's just some really addictive quality to it that appeals to me more than even games that are very similar to it that I still liked, but didn't have the same addiction, like most recently, say, a Wizard's Lizard, which was fine, but it doesn't have the same addictive quality as Isaac for me, anyway. And 2, what are your thoughts on Rebirth after having it for a few days by the time you read this? It's super, super good. I'm heavily addicted to it to the point it is a detrimental effect on the rest of my work. I've got a bunch of games piled up to do Let's Look Ats of, and I keep on putting aside recording time and then just thinking, oh, well, I could just do another Rebirth run, couldn't I? So then I do, and those take on average between 40 and say 60 minutes. So it's detrimental to my work, but I am thoroughly enjoying it and I highly, highly recommend it. And you asked something else actually. Oh, and can you list any major differences you noticed so far? I like the way it looks, I like the way it flows better, and I like that there's whole new synergies and just everything's new again almost, and that's It's almost like childlike wonder, I guess. It's just I can't wait to do more recording of it, and I am only playing it as I record it, which is another way I'm trying to like not get addicted to it and just play it for hours on end. I'm only playing it when I record. That'll change once I unlock everything, but for now that'll do. But yeah, it's such a good game. It's really good, and I've got some great runs coming up. I'm trying to do daily runs as far as my uploads go. Pardon me, excuse me. I might not be able to stick to that because some of the Borderlands parts, which we've finished recording, by the way, as of last night of me recording this video now anyway. Yeah, they are quite big, and some of the Dead Rising 3 parts are quite big as well, so I might not get an Isaac run up at the same time. Oh, that was another burp. What have I eaten today? Jesus. I was thinking, well, at first I was thinking that Hour of series that I mentioned. In fact, I could have sworn there was a comment about that, and I haven't seen any. Maybe another comment got lost. I'll check that in a second. I was thinking of doing an Hour of video per week and making it a Sunday video. You know, a lazy Sunday. Here's an hour of something, but a couple of problems. One, I think I might run out of stuff to do an hour of if I do them too frequently. And two, judging by how big the Outlast video was, because of my connection troubles, it wouldn't be viable for me to have like one massive video to upload a week, because it took over 24 hours for me to get the Outlast video up, and as ridiculous as that sounds, it's true. So instead of that, I hit a can on my desk, apologies. Instead of that, I'm thinking of making Sunday a double Isaac run day, at least for a little while, because I'm playing so much of it. So, and they're relatively small to upload as well. Not quite small as the original, because everything's bigger and better and 60 frames, etc., but still good. So that's what I think I'm doing. I mean, to go back to what you were saying, any other major differences? I've still not done enough of it. How long have I played it for? Let me just click over to Steam. Oh, I've played it for 8 hours so far. So I have actually played a lot of it. I still don't feel comfortable talking about major differences until I'm familiar with all the characters, etc. Guildford's Gaming, I for one... Oh wait. Yeah, I for one am for the Hour of series. Oh, this is the comment I was talking about. Maybe for games you could play are Wizard's Lizard, Euro Truck Simulator. I played that for one of the Patron videos. I don't think it did well. If I think of any more, I'll add them later. Please do, because I am considering, you know, doing more of them. A Wizard's Lizard would be easy. I was considering doing an hour of Lords of the Fallen, because that would give me an excuse to play more of it. I can't remember if I covered that, but I was very generously gifted that. So thank you very much to the person who gave me it. Daniel Now, while not necessarily monotone, you're always dignified. Thank you, I will take that compliment. And I intend to change that evil face, smug grin. One of these days I'll catch you with my ridiculous questions, and you'll drop your composure. I do drop my composure sometimes. I lost my composure a little bit when I was recording Outlast. I was trying really hard to never jump, but it did startle me a couple of times, annoyingly. And in some Isaac runs, like for example the one that just went live today, the Azazel, wait, someone told me how to pronounce this. Azazel. Yeah, I think I said it right, Azazel. That run, I got so ridiculously overpowered that I just couldn't believe it, and my composure definitely went there. Oh, you've got a read more button. I said read more, mouse. You wake up in the middle of the night and go to the where's this going? You wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. You half stumble to the bathroom, but then you're greeted with a feral bitey toilet. It can move around freely, in brackets. What do you do? Don't think about an answer, you only have a split second to react. Run for my life seems like the most obvious thing if your toilet suddenly has teeth and is coming after you. That is the stuff of nightmares. There's probably a B movie about that kind of thing. I know for a fact there's a horror movie about a bed that eats people, so why not a toilet? So that's my split second reaction, run a bloody mile. Second thought, oh, this would make a good B movie. There you go. Also, some people make deliberately bad movies to fit into that genre, so a killer toilet, yeah, go for it. Craig O'Malley, an Hour of series sounds great, I'm glad to hear it. You haven't played it before, but maybe you could do one or Let's Look At of Lords of the Fallen. I'm not going to do a Lords of the Fallen Let's Look At because I try and not do games where I would be negative in Let's Look At, because I prefer to try and keep it an upbeat, nice series. I might point out flaws for some things I'm playing, but generally if I cover a game for it, I like some aspect of it. And so far I've put in 2.5 hours-ish of Lords of the Fallen, and I don't like it because I don't like the combat. Everything else is okay, apart from the acting. But we'll get into that if I cover an hour of it. Apparently it's very similar to the Souls series, but I literally can't find anyone who's done any coverage. Oh, well, hang on. Is that because maybe they don't like YouTubers? Do they not play nice? Although usually they do, because the American company distributing it was Bandai Namco, and the EU one was Square Enix. Maybe that's why not many people covered it, or maybe just people don't like it. I'm not sure, I haven't looked into reviews or anything like that of it. It is very Dark Souls. It's definitely a Western company's attempt at mimicking Dark Souls. That's exactly what it is. I don't feel like they've achieved that in the right places that appeal to me, anyway. It seems, I mean, I'll go into all this if I do an hour of it, and I will try to. I love Dark Souls 2, and I know you did too, so I trust your opinion on this new Souls clone. Oh, well, I might have just put you off. Even though I've played it for 2.5 hours, I will say that's still take that as first impressions. I'm forcing myself, the other reason I'm forcing myself to play more of it is that, well, to give it another chance for one, but also if I am going to put it into my worst things played this year list, and I'm not saying it is, I'm saying there's a chance, I feel like to warrant that, I have to play more of it to see if it gets better. That's my thought on it anyway right now. Raging Matt. Hi Flik, I'm really enjoying the Isaac series at the moment and wondered, are there any other games you could recommend that are the same format as Isaac? Now, because this was, I think, a new person commenting, I actually replied to them at the time just in case they thought I was rude or whatever. I suggested a Wizard's Lizard and I suggested Dungeons of Dreadmore. If you can think of any other roguelikes in the Isaac style-ish, or, you know, fairly close to it, go back to Let's Chat 40 and answer Raging Matt as well. Give him some more options. And finally, Amy Spain. Hey Flik, you were mentioning your prep for doing your 2014 best and worst games. I have one request. Please, 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 please give Destiny a second chance before putting it on your list. Are you serious? I've been playing it a lot lately, totally addicted if I'm honest, and can definitely see how it would be boring and repetitive playing solo full time. But I've been having a lot of fun with cooperative play on story missions, strikes, and even the dreaded PvP. I'm playing on PS4, so you can add me. And then you said your name. I don't know if you want me to read this out, so I won't. If you do give me if you do want to give it a second shot, I sold it, so that won't be possible. Although if you want to add me on PS4, go ahead, because I know barely anyone with a PS4, and my whatever PSN name is listed on my channel. I can't remember offhand because I used a slightly different one for Xbox and Steam and PS4, etc. So yeah, feel free to send a friend invite if you haven't already, and I shall accept it. As for Destiny, no. And also, I don't think you can give a game a pass just because it's not boring cooperative. I used to do that. I used to be that way of thinking. If I could have fun with someone I was playing with, that made the game good. I don't want to fall into doing that again. Like, for example, I technically had fun with Resident Evil 6 because I played it through co-op and the person I was playing with, and we just took the shit out of it constantly. Damn, I swore. Ugh. I mean, we took the poop out of it, and that made it fun. However, the game itself is horse poop. So technically I enjoyed Resident Evil 6, but it was because it was co-op, and I don't think it deserves a pass for that. I still think it's a horrendously bad game. So am I going to give Destiny a second chance? I gave it how long it took me to get to the end of the story mode, and if it hasn't grabbed me by then, nah. I mean, I get it if you're addicted to finding better and better loot. I just think there's games that do that better, most notably Borderlands, although maybe you don't like the sense of humour that has. At least it has a sense of humour. At least it has substance, which Destiny doesn't. But I'll go into that more when we get to the video you mentioned, because I don't know where it's going to be on the worst list, but it is going to be on it. There's just no question. It is one of the worst things I've played this year. And with that, sorry to end on a negative note, but that's going to conclude this Let's Chat. Thank you very much for listening, and please do let me know about suggestions for doing hour of videos, and also methods by which to upload, somewhere to upload MP3s for people to get these to listen to outside of on YouTube. And yeah, we'll see you next time for whatever I want to talk about. Ta-ta for now.